Testing, testing. Hello? Hello? All right. All right, everyone, it's time for us to begin our first qualification match of the day. Finally, it's time. After a lot of preparation, a lot of the teams have worked really hard to get here to our middle school state competition. Here we're fighting for a chance for that world ticket, making it all the way to St. Louis. We are missing a team here currently.
That's okay. We're gonna. Oh, look, they're showing up.
Luckily, they're right here. Both alliances are ready, so now we can begin qualification match number 1. In 3, 2, 1. We got 3 robots moving, 2 red and a blue. Red immediately going for that long goal. Can they score that intake? It doesn't seem to be moving very much. Blue goes for the park zone, but it seems like they may have had a little bit of issues because they're not really scoring anything. With no block scored, it's going to be an autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. We have bots moving now, immediately going for that long goal. Red scores 1. Blue's going for another one, but red plays defense, gets 1, 2, 3, and a blue control zone. That's a nice start here. They go for a wing, de-score that red, and is securing those blue blocks. Blue currently has, looks like almost 2, but that block it just barely isn't in. They currently have 1 control zone at the moment. Red's trying to pivot towards that bottom middle, getting that bonus there. Blue's trying to take up top middle while Red's doing that. And they get top middle control zone, giving blue 2. Red trying to knock it out, but they just can't. Blue wants to make sure they keep that one in. Red's trying to keep up that defense there, making sure that blue can't score any more than they already have. Blue's trying to maintain their control zone. Red needs to score something, but blue is just blocking that long goal. Blue scoring a bunch of extra ones into that long goal there. Red's trying to get one in. They get it in, but blue goes with the D-score, knocking it out, but knocks out some blue in the meantime. Blue's trying to make sure that red can't score anything here while keeping up with their own. They currently have 3 control zones, both middle and 1 long goal. They're making use of their match loads now as they're D-scoring from that loader. Red's trying to get some blocks of their own, but is having a little bit of issues picking them up. Seems like they're having a bit of a entanglement issue with their little will. Blue gets another control zone. That is 4 control zones for blue. 2 long goals and 2 middle. With the last few seconds here, it doesn't look like red is able to do much in terms of control zones. So they're going to go for a park here. They're trying to get up, but they just barely don't make it right at the end. All right, both the alliances are ready. We can start practice match number 2 in 3, 2, 1. All the bots here. Red seems to be going for immediate park. They try to get one in the bottom middle, but it just shoots out the other side. Blue's going to go for long goal. They get 4 in. Just barely not control zone, though. Looks like that's going to be it for autonomous.
Blue.
Meaning it's going to be a blue autonomous. With that, we begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Blue already starting with their early lead, going for that long goal. Those control zones are very crucial to the gameplay here. And they know that as they utilize Auton to make control. And they get it. They get that long goal control zone giving them an extra 10 points. Red's going for bottom middle control zone, though, with their 2 blocks in. Red previously had a little bit of issues with their connectivity. It seems like they're also going to be out of air. Their long goal scoring mechanism doesn't look like it's going to be able to work very much for this match. They're going to have to depend on that middle goal there. Blue, on the other hand, is going to utilize that long goal and scoring blocks in. They currently have 1 control zone and are filling up that long goal on the closer side here. Their teammate is trying to use their claw to get their own block into that long goal. It seems like it might be a game of wings here as Red is going for what looks like trying to line up for a D score, but is having a little bit of trouble doing so. Blue's blocking them. It's going to be a contest here of the wings. Red takes his time to get top middle control zone as well. They currently have 2 control zones to Blue's 1. Blue may have more blocks scored, but Red is utilizing those control zones there. Blue looks like they're gonna sit there and take control of that long goal control zone. If they sit there, the red bot can't to remove that control zone. They end up D-scoring 1, but it doesn't look like it's going to be very much. Red immediately goes for park. Blue is rushing to the other side. They try to get a park off. Looks like they do. Red's trying to get a sweep in, but they just barely can't align that wing. In the last few seconds, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. We're giving the green light on practice match number 3, so we can begin autonomous in 3, 2, 1. All lots moving now. Blue immediately going for that 3 block in the corner. Red tries to score 1. They get 1 into the long goal. Blue's trying to score, but they might be having a little bit of issues with their intake. It's only 1 red block scored. They go for a wing, and they slide over to the other side of the autonomous line. Blue crossed the line, giving Red the autonomous bonus. With that, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1. Starting with the early lead, Red immediately has that autonomous control bonus, but Blue's going to have to make it up and try to go for that long goal. Red fills up the long goal with 3 blocks there. They're making use of their loader and their match loads, trying to fill up that long goal. Blue plans to do the same, but it looks like it's having a little bit of issues with her intake and instead trying to go for bottom middle. It seems like they might be having a few issues with their hood. They aren't able to score in that long goal there, which is going to prove to be a little bit of a problem for them, especially if they can't keep control. They're trying to use their wing now to de-score. It's even on the block numbers. Blue has control zone in the bottom middle. Red has control zone in the long goal. Blue is going to have to focus on de-score because they don't have a scoring method, so they're going to have to use their wing. It's a pretty even fight here with both bots going for that long goal. Two bots are playing heavy defense against one another, making sure that neither one can score. They're all pushed against the corner here. They're trying to score something. Perry the Blatterbot gets 4 in and is going for that control zone, using their wing to sweep it in. That'll give them 2 control zones and push them further ahead. That is a control zone for the red there. Red currently has 2 control zones. Blue has 1 in bottom middle. Blue already has gone for a park. Knowing that their intake isn't working very well, they're going to have to try to get a park early on. Hopefully that gives them enough points to succeed. Red's trying to take control of that bottom middle there. They score 1 in, going for a second, but they just don't make that second. If they can de-score all those blues, that's going to prove very useful for them. Red's also going for a park. They de-score and they gain a control zone right at the end. All 4 bots are ready, so we can move on to practice match number 4. In 3, 2, 1. From the red bots, both of them. Blue has gone for their 3 block control and is going for their long goal there. They're trying to score. They get 1, 2, and 3, and possibly control zone. It's a little misaligned. They go for a wing. Secure control zone. That's a blue. Immediately with that long goal control zone. Blue. That's going to give them autonomous bonus. With that, we begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Immediately starting with the control of that long goal is going to be very useful for them. And immediately they're trying to fill up blocks to secure some more points into that top middle, giving them 2 control zones and 7 blocks scored. Red's trying to make their way, gather some blocks, but blue is just much faster with their intake there. Red's going for the corner. Blue seems to be stuck in the park zone, is having to get some assist from their teammate. They're stuck on a block on that park zone with they have a heavy start, but this could ruin their match. Red's trying to pick up some blocks, possibly to get a control zone of their own. Blue is trying to get their bot off the field. There we go, and we get it off. A chain has fallen onto the field, though. It looks like possibly one of the bots' intakes is not going to work for the match. With blue back in action, though, they can score into that long goal, going for another control zone, and they get almost 2 control zones, but they push it a little bit too far. Red scores into that long goal. They're going for a wing sweep now. If they can secure control zone for them and bring out blue. Blue currently has a control zone in the other long goal, though. Red's trying to sweep, but is having a little bit of issues with alignment. Against the block, and they get control zone. That's a red control zone. Blue currently has 3 control zones, both middle and 1 in the long goal. Red's trying to push against them, and blue pushes back, and he scores a heavy de-score from red. It doesn't give them control zone, but it does take out some of the blocks. They do get control zone in the last few seconds. I think that's going to be it. All bots are ready on practice match number 5, so we can begin in 3, 2, 1. Both red bots and one blue. Blue tries to go for that long goal, but just barely misses. Red tries to go for a bottom middle and also misses. Doesn't look like it's going to be any blocks scored here. The last 5 seconds. It doesn't. Looks like it's going to be an autonomous tie for them. That's going to be an autonomous tie. With that, we begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Immediately trying to pick up those blocks into the corner, going for top middle. Red's trying to align themselves. Blue gets bottom middle though, and gets that control zone. Red's trying to score in that top middle, but is having a little bit of issues getting them out. Blue does get some long goal in, and pushes that blue block in. They don't get control, but are very close to it. One more push could make it in, and give them that extra 10 points. Red keeps trying to get that top middle. Red is also using their block to get into long goal. It's a negated control zone in the bottom middle there. It's very even on for the blocks. 2 for either side and no control. With so little blocks scored, one block could turn the tide here. Blue's trying to play defense, make sure that Red can't score anything. Red is doing the same against the Clawbot. Blue's almost scored one in. They have to line up, but Red pushes them right out of the way before they can get it.
Blue won.
If things continue like this, it looks like there's going to be no blocks scored. Red trying to go for bottom middle. They just can't get it out. If they get it out, they'll give them that bottom middle control zone, and they just barely miss. They're not able to make it. We just need one block scored on either side to sway this match. Blue and Red each going for the long goal. Red gets one in. Blue tries to go in, but just doesn't make it. Red in the lead here with one block ahead.
Park zones are protected.
A control zone could change this match here. It's really up to anything. One block could change the entire match, and parking is going to be very useful here. Those 8 points are going to decide who wins this match. Blue tries to get it, but just isn't able to make it. It doesn't look like either bot's going to get it. That doesn't look like a blue park, unfortunately. Both alliances are ready, so we can begin practice match number 6 in 3, 2, 1. All bots, red going for that 3-block group in the corner. Doesn't look like they're going to score it, but they do grab it. Which is going to help them during the driver portion. Doesn't look like any blocks will be scored for autonomous, but it does provide them a good stance for starting driver. Speaking of, with that tie, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1. Red immediately going for the defense against the blue. Blue's trying to get bottom middle control zone, but doesn't align it. Blue's trying to make sure that red can't score anything. The flat red bot looks like it's just going to be playing heavy defense because it doesn't look like it's going to be able to score very much. It could go for bottom middle, but it's going to be very inconsistent without any sort of funneling. Blue's trying to go for bottom middle, trying to get control zone. It doesn't look like they align it right though. They just barely miss it. Red's going for long goal and they shoot one out, but just the wrong way. The blocks seem to be stuck inside the intake. It doesn't look like it's going to be able to do much. Blue is going to go for long goal now. If they can get that in, it'll give them an edge in the competition. Blue's trying to make sure that red can't score anything, and red successfully defends against the blue bot. No blocks will be scored. It looks like a sprocket has fallen out. Part of the blue's intake completely gone. Red is trying to score, but is having a little bit of issues getting it in there. They just can't get into that long goal. Looks like none of the bots are able to score at the moment due to some defense or some issues with their intake. Last 20 seconds, it might be up to Parks. Red gets 3 blocks in that long goal. If they can get a park, it looks like they might be able to secure it. But it's up to if they can park. Blue currently does have a park off. It's going to be very close, possibly by a 1-point margin. Both alliances are ready for practice match number 7. So we begin in 3, 2, 1. We have red going for that block group in the corner. Blue scores into the park zone, which isn't exactly where they're supposed to score, but still cool nonetheless. Red tries to go for the bottom middle. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to score a block, though. Just barely wasn't able to. It rubs against the ground.
Be a tie.
With no blocks scored, it's going to be an autonomous tie. With that, we begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Red does immediately go for that long goal, trying to get a block in. They get one in. Blue is gathering some blocks to go for their own respective long goal. They get one in, 2, almost 3. Red making use of that loader over there, putting in their match loads, trying to get as many blocks as they can within their bot, and immediately going for that long goal. They score 3 in, and are going to use their wing. They get control zone. That's red control zone on the long goal on the other side.
Red out.
Red goes for bottom middle control zone, but isn't able to align well enough. Red's going for a D score on those blue blocks now. They D-score the blue blocks. It's only red score at the moment. Red going for the loader on the other side, possibly going for another control zone. Red does get control of the bottom middle now. It's going to give them 2 control bonuses. Both blue bots seem to be having issues with their drivetrain. They aren't moving very well. Red's trying to use their match loads. Go for that long goal. They get 1 in, going 2, almost 3. And now using their wing to get their control zone. In the last 20 seconds, Blue needs to be able to do something here. The last 15 seconds, they get control zone. That is 3 red control zones, 2 long goals and 1 bottom middle. Red goes for a park, and they're helping their teammate by pushing them in. The last 5 seconds, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to park. They try to, but they just can't leave their bot. Now, I will say I have never seen a bot try to lift another bot with a little wheel. I think that interesting strategy, but I really don't think those pneumatics are going to be able to lift a full bot. Hey, I never said any bot was fat. I think it's an interesting idea. A little bit late to practice match number 8, but that's fine. Both alliances ready. We begin practice match number 8 in 3, 2, 1. From both red teams going for their corner blocks. Red gets 1 and is now going for long goal. They hit it. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to score though. Blue doesn't get a block scored either. It does put them in a good position though for driver.
Be a tie.
No block scored, so that'll be an autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1. Blue immediately going for that long goal block scored, and they just barely doesn't make it. Red going for bottom middle. They get bottom middle control zone. 2 blocks in bottom middle, giving them that bonus. Red immediately is going ahead. Blue does get a block in that long goal, though, which is going to help them get that control bonus later. Red is going on the other side to go for their long goal, trying to score a block in, but Blue pushes them out of the way, meaning they aren't able to score anything. Red's focusing on that bottom middle control zone now, while Blue's going for top middle. They get it in, and that's control bonus for Blue, giving them top middle a bonus 8 points. Red focuses on securing the bottom middle, though. It's going to be very close points-wise, with a control bonus for each, although the top is slightly more valuable than the bottom. Red does score 1, almost 2 blocks into the long goal. Blue tries to score in the top middle, but just knocks it out. Bots are fighting on the other side, make sure that none can score. Blue takes advantage of the top middle and scores 2 blocks in. It's almost even blocks-wise. Although I think red is ahead by barely a point. It's going to be very close here as we approach these last 30 seconds. Red trying to make use of their long goal. They get 1 in. Any 1 Any one block could change the match here. If one team can get a park off, that might change who wins this match here. Blue is going for a park. They're trying to line up just right. Last 5 seconds here. They aren't able to get a park in. They're going for it, but they just can't make it. It doesn't look like it's going to be a park, unfortunately. Now, we are waiting a little bit on the qualification match number 1 because we do have a Blue Alliance team missing. We are like 10 minutes ahead, so we'll wait for them. But if we get behind, we may have to leave them behind. So a lesson to all of you, please be here early because that means that we can start the match early. That means we can be ahead of schedule. And that means you get to go home early. Yay! right, I hope you all successfully warmed up because that is going to conclude our practice matches. We can begin now our real qualification matches. This will determine the team's ranks and will determine who will be the first pick for their alliances during eliminations. This will also qualify you for certain awards.
Go ahead and introduce the team.
With that, we can introduce our teams for a qualification match. For our Red Alliance, we have Team 29244A, Big Boy Bots. Along with them is Team 24049B, OPMS Shockwave. For our Blue Alliance, we have Team 70634C, Techno Vipers. Along with them is Team 51648A, the Muffin Men. Both alliances are ready, so we can begin our qualification matches in 3, 2, 1. Immediate movement from all four bots here. Red going for that long goal. Blue doing the same. Red just isn't able to make it. Blue misses. Blue does get one in. That's one block for Blue. And if Red isn't able to score, it looks like they're going to take the bonus here. Blue's going to win the autonomous bonus. With that, we can begin Driver in 3, 2, 1. Blue immediately, with that lead of that 10-point autonomous bonus, is going to get some blocks to go for that long goal. Red takes control of the bottom middle, giving them that control zone. That's going to be an extra 6 points for them, putting them ahead in this match. Red is going to also score in that long goal, getting 3 in there. Blue tries to take back control of the bottom middle, but Red currently has 2 to Blue's 1. Red does have more blocks scored now, and is now going for a wing maneuver, try to get that control zone, and they get control zone for that long goal. Blue, on the other hand, negates control zone in the bottom middle, giving it to neither team. It's a 1 control zone for Red and 1 negated control zone in the bottom middle. Red tries to get back that control zone in the bottom middle, but it doesn't look like they're aligned just right and aren't able to score it. Having a little bit of troubles trying to realign, get that bottom middle, and they get it. That's 2 Red control zones. They knock out a Blue in the process. There's going to be 2 Blue blocks scored. Last 40 seconds is going to be up to who can keep control of those control zones. Blue's trying to play defense now. Red going for a D score, trying to get that Blue block out of there. They just barely scrape it, but aren't able to get it out. They're trying so hard, just aren't able to make it, and they almost get it out. They get it out. D score for Red. It's only 1 Blue block scored here, and 2 Red control zones. One of the Blue blocks seems to have stopped moving, or are moving very little. Red's trying to go for a park in the last 5 seconds here, but just doesn't have enough power to get over. They do get it over, and that's a park for the Red bots. On to qualification match number 2 now. For our Red Alliance, we have Team 90235A, Atomic. Along with them is Team 33848D, Muskegears. We got there. For our Blue Alliance, we have Team 19140A, Rebels Gone Rogue. Along with them is Team 12188A, Robo Rogues. I've got the strangest feeling that the Blue Alliance is going to go a little rogue, perhaps. Both alliances are ready, so we begin our autonomous in 3, 2, 1. going for that 3 block in their corner. Going for that long goal now. They're trying to score 1 in. They get 1 in, just not 2. That is, but 1's going to be enough to get their control bonus. They're going to try to go for a wing here, but they just barely miss it. They do get a block though, and that's going to grant them the autonomous bonus. With that, we begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Blue immediately starting with a block in that long goal. They might be able to use a sweep leader. Blue does get stuck on that long goal there, but does have the ability to move it down. Blue does get a control zone on the other side. Red's trying to sweep it out, but Blue is trying to push them against it. Make sure they can't score anything. Blue does get control zone in the top middle as well, though. If Blue continues to play defense here to keep their block scored, making sure that Red can't score anything. It's going to be a battle of wings here, but it looks like Blue is going to be able to push a bit more than Red can. Blue does get 3 control zones, 2 in the middle, 1 in the long goal. Red does have a block scored in the long goal over here, though. They could sweep it up to get into control zone, but they're trying to score into the other long goal. They just barely miss it due to some defense from Blue. They're fighting each other on the side of the field here. No bot is able to score. Both Reds are being stuck on their side of the field. Last 40 seconds here. Blue goes to score. They get 3 blocks into that long goal. Red's trying to make sure they can't go for a sweep there. Blue wants to get that control zone. Red gets it, though. That's a Red control zone. Blue sweeps it out of there, descoring the Red block, but doesn't get control zone, unfortunately. Control zone. That's 4 control zones for Blue. Currently no blocks scored for Red. Last 15 seconds. Looks like it may be up to Parks for Red. Red does get a block, and they're going to go for a sweep at the last minute. They just need to align it well, but Blue pushes them against the long goal. That means it'll be no sweep for Red. They try to get it in, but just aren't able to get it out. For qualification match number 3 now, we have our Red Alliance, which is Team 2244-3A Full House. Along with him is Team 33705X 5-Star Quantum Rabbit. For a Blue Alliance, we have Team 96607C Krusty Krab. Along with him is Team 90235B Bluey. Now, our Red Alliance is doing my personal favorite thing to do ever, and that's programming at the field. We love programming at the field. I do it all the time. Everyone does it. If you say that you don't, you're lying. Last-minute programming is my favorite thing, and that's my job on my robotics team.
Just make sure you're not airing up.
Both alliances ready. We begin qualification match number 3. In 3, 2, 1. From both red bots, they get their respective corners there and go for loader, but just aren't able to get it. They get 1, 2, 3, 4 in and a control zone. That's 2 control zones for red. They go for a sweep and they knock it out, unfortunately removing their control zone. It's only going to be 1 for red. It's going to be a red bonus. With that, we begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Starting with the lead of 2 control zones. Blue's going for their loader, trying to score the long goal of their own. Red is making use of their match loads here, scoring as many as possible. They already have control zone in both the long goal and the top middle. Red's trying to get blocks out of their loader, but is having a little bit of issues doing so. It's almost a full long goal on the opposite side here from Red. One of the blue blocks doesn't seem to be moving. Perhaps it's a disconnect. Red tries to score, but he misses both their blocks. They get one in. That's one block scored on the side here. The other teammates coming in from the other side, giving them control zone. That's 3 control zones for Red. Red's just trying to score as many blocks as possible. Blue doesn't look like it's going to be able to do much here with one of the bots disconnected. Now they're going for bottom middle. They get bottom middle control zone. That's all 4 control zones going to Red here. Currently no blue blocks scored. Last 40 seconds, Red's just trying to score as many blocks as they can. They're essentially just testing their ability now. Blue isn't able to do much against them but play defense. But it doesn't look like it's going to be able to do much if they can't score. Last 20 seconds might be up for the Blue Alliance to park here. And it looks like that might be what they're trying to do. They're backing up to the park zone. Last 10 seconds, they go for a park. They try to climb up. They're getting a little bit stuck. Last 5 seconds. Blue's still trying to go for that park, but they don't have enough power to get over it, unfortunately. Neither team is gonna park. We're going to end that qualification match with a staggering score of 125-0 for our Red Alliance. A crazy amount of points scored. On to qualification match number 4 now. For our Red Alliance, we have team 33848Z, Sam's Club. Along with them is team 70699C, Wolverine Robotics. For our Blue Alliance, we have team 70663X, Short Circuit. Along with them is their sister team, 70663B, Robo Guppies. Now, it's always fun to see sister teams working with one another. You know, they built in the same place. They worked with each other for a long time. But I think it's infinitely more fun to see them go against each other. I like seeing sister teams fight one another.
Check, check. Oh, yeah.
Both alliances are ready. We can begin qualification match number 4 in 3, 2, 1. From all 4 bots. The red bots seem to be running into one another, though. A bit of a programming issue. They certainly did not account for that. As long as they just barely, it doesn't look like they're going to go over, though. It's so close.
Tie, you didn't cross.
It's going to be an autonomous tie. The robot did not cross. With that, we begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. After an interesting programming start, blue immediately goes for top middle control zone. Red goes for bottom middle, a control zone for either side. Blue's trying to regain control of that bottom middle, but is having a little bit of issues getting that block out. They just aren't aligned correctly. They knock it out, and they get blue gets 2 control zones in the middle, 1 in the top middle, 1 in the bottom. Red's trying to regain control. They get it in. They negate control zone in the bottom middle. That's currently 1 control zone for blue and none for red. Red is trying now to head towards that long goal. Trying to go for some bottom middle again, trying to regain that control zone. But is facing a little bit of defense from blue. They're just trying to get it out, but they aren't able to. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to score. Blue scores 2 in, regaining that control zone. That's 2 control zones for blue, and only 1 block scored for red. Red's trying to get it out, but they just can't. They have a block stuck in there. Looks like it's going to be jammed a little bit. Red's going to go for long goal now, but just barely missed it. Blue adds another to that bottom middle, securing their control zone. Red looks like it's trying to score into the top middle there. They just aren't able to make it, unfortunately. Blue's going to keep control. It's a battle for control zones here. Blue is currently parked in the red parking zone. They're a little stuck. That might incur a violation. There's also a chain on the field. Someone's intake isn't working. It's 2 blue blocks scored in the long goal there. For the last 5 seconds. It could change at any moment.
All right, so we're going to take a nice little gap here. And go ahead with our first activity break of the day. By the way, my people sitting in, Sitco area, y'all having a good time? Yeah? Okay. Hey, Venture Global, y'all having a good time? Oh, okay, they having a better time over here. And Phillips 66, y'all having a good time? Okay, cool. So we're about to do our first little, how would you say, once again, activity break. And I've got some prizes for those who want to participate. Now, we're here for a robotic competition, and we got some beautiful robot designs, and they're driving these robots like robots. But I wanted to know, who can do the best robot dance? Ooh, who can do the best robot dance? And I got some prizes. If you want to come up to do the best robot dance, come on down. I got one. Somebody who's going to be a challenger. I need somebody to challenge the kiddos. We got some time. If you want to come do a robot dance, come down. Who can do the best robot dance? Give me at least 1 or 2 more. Give me 2 more. Come on. Yeah, there we go. We got two. Hey, all right, so let me up the ante. Because whoever wins, I'm going to give them a drone. So who wants a drone to see who got the best robot dance? Build your own drone. Come on now. Okay. We're going to find out who has the best robot dance to win your own do-it-yourself drone. I got 3, I got 4. This one's spread out now, because you all are going to be the voting of who gets, the best robot dance. Do the robot. Can you do the robot? All right. And let's see what we're going to be dancing to while we're doing the robot. Uh-oh. Who is it? okay. They getting it. Ah, yeah. He hit it. Look at him. Robot battle. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. Give him a round of applause. Come on. Technology. Come on, almost there. One more time. Keep it going. Yeah. All right, all right, all right, all right. So let's find out who our winners are. Let's find out who our winners are. What's your name? Alice. Yeah, all right, if you think Alice is the winner, make some noise. Okay, okay, okay. What's your name? Emery. Emery. So if you think Emery is the winner, y'all make some noise. Okay, okay. And excuse me, sir, what's your name? Shane? Shane? Shane, man. Shane, man. If y'all think Shane is the winner, make some noise. Man, hey, I think we have a winner. Don't go nowhere, ladies. But your winner with a drone. Here you go, Mr. Shane. That is going to you, man. Good job, man. Y'all give it up for Shane. But, ladies, hold on, hold on. I got something for you. I got two things for y'all. Okay. You want a T-shirt or some nerds? T-shirt? I'm going to give you some nerds anyway. Here you go. There's a T-shirt. Maybe not fitted. Here you go right here. And I'm going to give you a pack of nerds. There you go right there. And Shane, I got you as well. Good job, ladies. Y'all give it up for our ladies here. Hey, we got stuff like this planned out for you all day. But with that, let's go ahead and get ready. Back to the matches.
Though I can't guarantee these our robots have such as great moves, they certainly do have fight. And this is going to be for qualification match number 5. For our Red Alliance, we have team 66567A, Molo Robo Warriors. Along with them is team 19140B, Tecaronis. For our Blue Alliance, we have team 34678, Jesus Christ, 3467A, Little Tigers. Along with him is team 24049A, OBMS Transformers. We are missing some warriors on our Red Alliance, though. We do have a bot missing at the moment. So for all of you teams not currently in a queue, or maybe after this match, Skills is currently open. It's empty. It's a empty line. Just walk on in and say hi. I'm sure they would love to run something for you if you want to go to Skills. But the lines are ready to begin autonomous. In 3, 2, 1. They move from blue, going for that 3 blocks. They have 4 right now. Red does score 1-1, but blue gets 4 in and a control zone. They're getting a few more. That's a lot of blocks scored in that long goal, and it gives them control zone. They missed the wing, but it doesn't matter because they're still going to get the autonomous bonus. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Already a great lead from blue here. Immediately going for that control zone. They have it, and they're going to try to keep it. The flat blue bot is immediately playing defense against that red, make sure they can't score any more in that long goal. Blue does not want red to score any in that long goal. And blue is going to try to go from the other side and get control for themselves. They let down their wing and try to push it in, but are having a little bit of issues aligning it. They almost get it in, but just barely not enough. Having a little bit of issues. Looks like they're not able to get it into that control zone just yet. Red, however, still has only the 1 block scored, and blue's trying to de-score that at the moment. Red pushing them against the wall, make sure they can't do that. One of the drivetrains of the red bot seems to have fallen off. It's only a matter of time before that full wheel falls off. I'm surprised it's still on as it is. Oh, it's honestly terrifying to watch. It's like the bot has lost an entire leg. The other one looks like it's about to fall off too.
Back away. Red.
The wheel is falling off of the red bot there.
Don't tear your bot up.
It's a little rough to watch. Looks like he's stuck on that red park zone there. Either they're stuck or perhaps they disconnected. Red's trying to go for a park, but can't due to the blue bot being stuck there.
Don't touch blue.
It is a rough match here, with bots falling apart, bots getting stuck on park zones. I don't know what's a violation, but I'm sure there's at least one of them here. alliances are ready for qualification match number 6, so we can begin in 3, 2, 1. Immediately dashing for that bottom middle. They're trying to score, but they just don't make it. The block is going to get the blue bot, though. Blue does get top middle control zone. They try to push it in. They get 3 blocks in the top middle, giving them control, and the only block scored for the autonomous.
Blue.
It's going to be a blue autonomous win. With that, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1. Blue immediately starting with that top middle control zone over there. Red's trying to dash to get a red block into their bottom middle. Red's also going for the long goal over here, trying to align it just right to get it on there. Blue's going for bottom middle control zone, but isn't able to make it. Red gets a block in long goal, but just pushes it out right at the end. Blue's now going for bottom middle. They get bottom middle control zone. That's 2 control zones for blue. Red's trying to pick up that red block they just had. Going again for that long goal score. Blue is trying to maintain control of the middle control zones. They have both. They just need to keep it. Red's trying to grasp onto that red block, but just isn't able to. The red bot's trying to score, but is facing some defense from blue. Blue's pushing them around, make sure they can't score anything. Blue is just focused on defending those middle control zones. And that's all they really need to win this match. But without a bunch of scored blocks, it could easily change to a park or a change in control. They've got 4 into the top middle control zone now, and 30 seconds left in the match. Red picks up their block and is now going for the long goal. Park might mean a lot for either team. They try to get in the long goal, they make it in, and they stay there. But Blue's immediately trying to go for a D score. Red pushes it in. Doesn't look like it's going to be able to score. Blue pushes in the red block to the control zone. That looks like it might be a red control. No parks for either side. Both alliances are ready for qualification match number 7, so we can begin autonomous in 3, 2, 1. From the red bot, going to pick up those 3 blocks into the corner. Blue does the same, and looks like Red's going for that long goal. They get 1, 2, 3, 4 in. Blue tries to go in, but just barely misses it. They don't score anyone. They do get 1 on top. Unfortunately, that's not worth any points.
Red.
That's going to be a red autonomous bonus. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Red immediately starting with 4 blocks in that long goal. That'll be very helpful for a control bonus should they add more blocks. They're immediately going around to score more into that long goal, shoving more in. They get control bonus. Blue looks like they're trying to defend against it, possibly going for a sweep here. They're just pushing the red bot away, making sure they can't score anything. This game is very focused on those control zones. It's whoever controls them that can win the match. Red looks like it's going for bottom middle control zone. They try to get a block in. They just aren't able to, having a little bit of issues getting that block out. Blue is going for top middle control zone, but isn't able to get the block out. But red bot seems to be stuck in the blue park zone. If they can't get out, that might be a problem for them. Red does get out of the blue park zone, but is still stuck on one of the blocks, trying to get it loose. Blue's trying to go for the long goal control zone, getting some blocks in that long goal, but red is pushing them away. Red now going for a sweep on their own long goal, trying to secure that control zone. Blue's trying to stop them. The red already has control zone. They secure it further, pushing it in. Last 20 seconds here. Any switch in control zone could fix it. A plate has fallen off one of the bots, though. Blue's trying to score that long goal, but red is just staying there, blocking it. Red's now going for a park in the last 5 seconds. They're trying to get up on there. They've gotten it before. It might be, I'm not sure. Okay, so there's been some discussion here about the red bot over here. Well, wait, I can't tell. Hold on. The Wolverine Robotics bot, they currently have an arm that extends out and down. But in the match, they'll lift it up and they'll lock it there. However, the way they ended the match is that they have the wing extending over the perimeter of the field. What we're looking at right now is to see if that is too far over the perimeter of the field to be considered a hazard or a danger to our drive team members. We're basically just trying to see if this bot is safe for play. And it looks like it is. For qualification match number 8, we have a battle of the sister teams. For our Red Alliance, we have Team 33705C, 5-star Galaxy Gators. Along with them is their sister team, 33705B, 5-star Keepy Uppy. For our Blue Alliance, we have Team 96607A, Perry the Platabot. Along with them is their sister team, Team 96607B, Doodlebots. Both alliances are ready, so we can begin qualification match number 8. In 3, 2, 1. Making a move from the red, going for that corner blocks. It seems like they might be going for that long goal over there. They might be able to score that. It doesn't look like their intake's gonna be able to move though. That'll be no blocks scored from either side, giving it an autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Red immediately using their auton to get that block into that long goal. That's one block for red. Blue is on both sides is going for their loader, getting their match loads in, scoring 1, 2, 3 blocks in their long goal. And now using their little wheel to score some more from the loader. We have 4 blocks into the long goal. Red trying to go for a sweep here, trying to get their own control zone. one control zone for blue and one very close for red. Blue. It's a fight for the control zones over here. Looks like
Out, red out.
it is two blue control zones.
Park zones are protected.
Underqualified match number 9 now. We have a Red Alliance, which is Team 70663X Short Circuit. Along with them is Team 70634C Techno Vipers. For our Blue Alliance, we have Team 33705X 5-Star Quantum Rabbit. Along with them is Team 90235A Atomic. Both alliances ready.
Take your match zone box.
We can begin autonomous. In 3, 2, 1. Moving all 4 red bots. One of the blue seems to move just a little bit. Blue tries to go for that loader, but isn't able to make it. Tries to go for a sweep, goes way across the field. Maybe a little bit of an issue with possibly an inertial sensor. Happens to the best of us.
That's going to be a red.
With a blue cross, it's going to be a red autonomous bonus. And that's going to, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Moving from the blue back to their loader. They seem to have gotten stuck on that long goal there. Blues are already starting with a deficit of points due to crossing the line. Red takes control of the bottom middle. Blues taking control of the long goal. They have the long goal control zone, giving them an extra 10 points. Scoring a few extra in to secure that control zone. Blues trying to take bottom middle control zone, but is having a little issues getting it in. Red takes top middle control zone, giving them both middle control zones and 2 in the long goal. Just a little push will give it a control zone. Blues trying to defend against them and take the long goal on the other side, but is facing some defense from Red. Red currently has 2 control zones, but Blue has more scored blocks in that long goal. It might be a close match if Red continues to play defense as they're doing. If Blue can't score, it might be a close match between the two here. Blue's going for scoring. They get 2 in, and they get control zone. That's 2 blue control zones in the long goals, but 2 for Red. Blue secures the control zone and goes for a D score, trying to get those red blocks out. Red's trying to push them against it, making sure they can't do that. They're trying to go for a sweep, but they keep hitting that long goal. They aren't able to get a sweep in. Blue's trying to take over top middle control zone. Getting it out. They get it out. It doesn't give them control zone, but it does help. Blue is currently taking control of both long goals here, but Red has control of the middles. Some quick match loading from Blue as the defense from Red is happening by this long goal over there. Blue's trying to score some blocks in the last few seconds, but Red is pushing against it. That last match was a very close one and a very good one with a score of 42 to 47. Now moving on to qualifying match number 10 for our Red Alliance, we have Team 19140C, Coding Kings.
Safety glasses.
With them is their sister team, Team 19140B, Tecaronis. For our Blue Alliance, we have Team 24049B, OPMS, Shockwave. Along with them is Team 33848Z, Sam's Club. Both alliances are ready, so we can begin qualification match number 10. In 3, 2, 1. Moving from all four bots, red going for the middle, but just isn't able to score. The blue bots seem to be running into one another. Blue isn't able to score in that bottom middle. No blocks will be scored here. It looks like it's going to end in a autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Blue immediately going for that bottom middle. Red doing the same, but scores one on top, which just didn't count. No blocks have been scored at the moment, although both have made an attempt for it. Red's trying to push against blue, making sure they can't score anything. Blue's trying to go for bottom middle at the same time, though. If red keeps pushing them, they're not going to be able to score anything. Red's making an effort to pick up blocks on their own side, potentially going for a long goal. Blue's trying to line up for that bottom middle, but keeps getting reset by red, who's pushing them away from the goal. Red's going for a long goal with block scored on the other side. And they get one in. That's 1 point. That's one block scored for red. Blue's trying to make sure that they can't score anything else, though. If it stays like this, it's going to be in favor of red. With so little blocks scored, a park might be necessary from either team. Blue's trying to take control of the bottom middle with red out of the way, but red comes back to push against them. It's a fight over bottom middle here. Blue's really trying to align it, but keeps getting pushed out of the way. If they can just get it in, they'll get control zone. And that's what they're doing. Both red bots are pushing them away. The last 20 seconds might be up to a park. Red immediately goes for a park in their park zone on the other side. Blue's still trying to take control of that control zone. If they can get it in the last 10 seconds, it might change the course of the match. The red block is scored, and the blue gets control zone. It's going to be very close. Blue's going for a park now. I don't know which one's more. I think it may be a difference of a single point. In the last few seconds of the match, blue is able to score in the bottom middle, giving them just enough points to get ahead in a score of 14 to 13. for qualification match number 11, we are currently waiting on one of the Blue Alliance teams who showed up exactly as I said that, so welcome to the field.
Check, check, check. I hope y'all having a good time today.
Both alliances are ready, so we can begin qualification match number 11. In 3, 2, 1. So moving from red, immediately going for that long goal. They try to go for a wing, but just barely don't make it. It's going to be a red autonomous bonus. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Immediately going for that control zone. Red gets those extra 10 points. Blue goes for bottom, middle, and top middle, securing 2 control zones for them. Red's trying to score, but has some defense from blue. Blue seems to be ahead at the moment. Red's trying to score some more blocks, but blue is playing some defense, making sure they can't do that. It looks like it's going to be a stalemate in terms of points here. Red's trying to take control of that bottom middle. They get a block in and they get bottom middle control zone. Red currently has 2 control zones. Blue with only 1. Blue negates the control zone in the bottom middle. Give them currently the lead. Red is trying to descore that blue block, but blue is pushing them against the wall, making sure they can't do that. It's very close here. A park could mean everything. Blue is trying to go for a park, and a blue block is knocked out of the top middle. That might be just what they need. If Red can get a park here, that might change things. Blue does score 2 blocks in the bottom middle, giving them an edge right at the end here. It's going to be very close. That was a very, very close match. Blue ended up winning 40-32, but only because they got a park off right at the end by staying on top of their alliance partner. They went through some hoops to get that point, but that secured them with the win right at the end. Both alliances ready. Begin qualification match number 12. In 3, 2, 1. Blue immediately going for the park zone and the blocks in the corner. They don't seem to keep any of them, but is now going for the top middle, and they get top middle control zone and a few extra points. Red is going for the long goal, but misses both of their blocks. It looks like it's going to be only a blue block scored here. There's going to be a blue autonomous bonus. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Blue already has one control zone. Red going for the long goal over there. Is having a little bit of issues controlling the drivetrain. Blue is also going for the long goal, trying to score one in, but just isn't close enough and misses. Red has a bunch of blocks ready to score them. It just needs to find a place. There's only one block scored for the blue, and that's in the top middle control zone. Red's now going for their long goal, but blue shoves them out of the way. Red does score 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks in. That's 4 blocks in, immediately turning the sides of the match here. Very close to control zone, but just barely isn't enough. One of the red bots seems to be stuck and unable to move. Not sure what happened, but their intake seems to be making a very odd noise. And the other red bot is now stuck against the wall. Both red robots seem to be disabled right at the end here. Blue is taking this opportunity to get control zone in the top middle and the bottom middle and go for the long goal as well. Blue is taking their time to line up for a D score. They try to get it off, but it just doesn't work. Blue is scoring down. It's still close in terms of blocks scored, but I think the control zones where Blue puts them ahead. Last 15 seconds here, maybe up to a park. Blue is trying to align their wing, but just can't maneuver their bot in a way that is meaningful. Blue's trying to go for a park. Last 5 seconds here. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to make it. All bots are ready for qualification match number 13, so we can begin autonomous. In 3, 2, 1. Red immediately goes to that park zone. It looks like that might have been more of a skills autonomous. Blue tries to go for top middle, but misses. No block scored for either side. Fortunately, it doesn't look like any points will be scored here. It's going to be an autonomous tie. Unfortunately, park does not count in the autonomous period, so it will be no points for either side, meaning an autonomous tie. Now we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Red immediately going for those blocks in the corner, going for top middle control zone, trying to score them in. is having a little bit of issues with their intake there. Blue goes for bottom middle and gets control zone to the bottom middle. Red's going for the loader, trying to get some match loads in. Red gets one into the top middle, giving them control zone. A control zone for either side, with the top middle being slightly more valuable. Blue is trying their best to score in the long hole, but red is pushing them away from it, making sure they can't score anything. Red's trying to push them into the middle goal.
Red one.
Blue is now has pivoted over to the long goal and is trying to score onto there, but red keeps pushing them out of the way. Red scores in bottom middle, negating control and gaining control with the second block. That's 2 control zones for red, putting them in the lead here. Blue keeps trying to go for that long goal, but red is pushing them away. Blue's going for bottom middle control, but isn't able to line it up just right, and they don't get it in, unfortunately. That's still going to be a red control zone for bottom middle. All bots are in the corner there trying to prevent blue from scoring in the top long goal. Last 2 seconds up to a park here. Blue scores 2 into the top middle, 3 giving them easy control. A nice quick change right at the end of the match. That may decide the match. Red gets a park off. Blue needs one to secure their win here. Last 5 seconds. It may be up to if blue can get a park. It's going to be a very close. Blue just doesn't seem to be able to make it. Both alliances are ready, so we can begin match 14 in 3, 2, 1. They're immediately using their preload to go bottom middle, but just doesn't line up right. Red tries to go for the long goal, it doesn't make it. Blue scores 3, and it looks like it's going to be the only points given for blue here. That's going to be a blue autonomous bonus. With that, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1. Blue immediately going for a sweep, giving them a blue control zone in the long goal over here. Red's pushing on the other side, trying to get their control zone for them, using their own wing, getting stuck behind one of the blocks though. They aren't able to get a good sweep in because the wing is stuck. They accidentally descore one of their blocks. Blue is on the other side trying to score their block into the long goal. They get it in. Red's trying to make use of their match loads to get some more blocks in that long goal, and eventually possibly going for control zone there. They get one in, but it just isn't enough. Now they're trying to line up for their wing. They're trying to sweep it in. Blue is coming from the other side. Red is playing defense, making sure that blue can't do anything about it, and red gets control zone. That's a red control zone for this. Blue is pushing it back. They push the blocks and de-score them. Blue seems to be stuck to the field for a little bit. It's still equal footing on terms of blocks scored. Just one wing maneuver could change this entire long goal. It's even as of now, but it's a push from both sides. It's blue control zone. Red's playing defense, making sure they can't do anything. It's a tie here. It's whoever owns this. They keep pushing against one another. Red's trying to push against blue, but it doesn't look like they're able to do much. Blue is on the other side trying to score as many blocks in their long goal as they can, which may be the match here. Last 20 seconds, and maybe up to a park. It's very close. Whoever can get the final wing in these last 10 seconds, it may be up to whoever can get control of this long goal. They go instead to the other side, maybe scoring some blocks in the long goal, going for control, but they have 2 seconds left. They might need to do a quick sweep here. They don't make it, unfortunately. So a very important part of this pushback game is the wing play. And that's when you see the bots using their little pushers on the side of their bot to push these blocks back and forth in this control zone to try to gain it. However, this is a very risky play because attaching to this long goal without moving anything is considered hooking onto the field. So if they aren't moving blocks, they need to get out. And if they stay too long, that might incur a violation. It's a very risky play, but a very rewarding one. All right, all bots are ready for qualification match 15. So we can begin the match in 3, 2, 1. Moving from all 4 bots here. Blue seems to be going for that long goal. Red's also going for that long goal, but doesn't seem to be aligned. They just don't make it, unfortunately. It's going to be no points scored for either side here. Looks like it's going to be it for Autonomous, leading in an autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1. Red immediately going for that loader, trying to get some of those blocks out of there. Possibly going for match loads later on in the match. Blue is pushing against them. Blue does get a nice shot into that control zone, granting them an extra 10 points on there. And they get bottom middle control zone. That is 2 control zones for Blue right off the bat. Red is trying to score into that long goal. They're trying to get it in. They're having a little bit of issues with that. They might be having a little issues with their outtake there. Blue still does have 2 control zones. Red keeps trying to descore the bottom middle one, but isn't having much success. Red tried to score in the top middle, but Blue is pushing them just out of the way before they can do anything. We got 50 seconds left. One block can change anything. Speaking of, blue is trying to score one block in the bottom middle, but isn't able to due to some defense from red. Red's pushing them out of the way. It's defense from either side. Blue's pushing red, and red's pushing blue. Looks like red seems to have dislocated a little bit. Their outtake is a little out of the way. They might still be able to use it, though. Although I don't know if they have much time with the last 25 seconds into this match. And maybe up to Parks. With 20 seconds left. The bots may need to focus on a park here to secure their win. Blue does get a park off on their side. Red's trying to get one in, but their bot is a bit too big to go over the park zone. Last 5 seconds. Red's going to try to attempt to park, but isn't able to because they're getting stuck on the other bot. Looks like that's going to be it. Both alliances are ready for qualification match number 16, so we can begin our autonomous in 3, 2, 1. From red going for that long goal. Their turning is a little bit off though, and they seem like they aren't going to be able to make it. Blue's trying to grab from that corner, and they might be able to make it. Doesn't look like it. If that block comes out, they might have a chance though. No block scored, unfortunately. That's going to end in an autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1. We're immediately going for that bottom middle, trying to do what their Auton couldn't. But it's having a little bit of issue because red is pushing against them, giving them away.
Blue won.
Having a little bit of pinning over the other side. No blocks have currently been scored yet. Blue's going for bottom middle, trying to get that control zone, but is having a little bit of issues getting it out. They can't get it over that ledge. Red's trying to do the same on the other side. Blue scores. There's 3 blocks. Blue block scored 2. One of them fell out. That's a control zone from the bottom middle. Blue's going for top middle now, trying to get as many control zones as they can. They get top middle as well. That's 2 control zones for blue. Granting them a bunch of extra points. Red takes control of the bottom middle by slotting 2 in there and knocking out a blue. One of the red bots seems to be decommissioned as it stopped moving.
Blue won.
Blue is making use of their loader and their match
Blue
loads,
2.
shoving in as many blue blocks as they can. Red scores in the top, in the long goal over there.
Back up.
It's going to be very close in terms of points. Maybe up to control zones and parks here. We've only got 35 seconds left. Red gets a control zone in the long goal here, giving them a bunch of extra points, pushing them ahead of the competition. Last 25 seconds, blue goes for bottom middle control zone, trying to take it back from red. 20 seconds and maybe up to a park. With the blue bot seems to have fallen apart. Their little wheel is obstructing their outtake. They aren't able to make it. 10 seconds and maybe up to a park. Blue seems to be trying to go for a park. There's having a little bit of issues with their little wheel being knocked off. They're able to make it. All right, both alliances are ready. We can begin qualification match number 17. In 3, 2, 1. Red immediately going for those corner blocks, but only gets one, unfortunately. Red trying to go for that long goal. They make it in. That's one block for the long goal for Red. Looks like that's just going to be enough for the autonomous bonus. It's going to be a Red autonomous bonus. And with that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Already with a heavy lead, Red goes for more blocks to put into their goals. Blue is making use of their loaders and going for that long goal. It seems to be a little stuck. They score 1 and 2. Blue goes for a sweep, knocking the red block into the control zone. A little confusing. And now they're instead trying to go for a sweep on the blue, trying to knock the blue back into the control zone. They're trying to sweep it in, but they just can't align it. Blue's going for bottom middle. They get bottom middle control zone for blue. Blue knocks the blocks in and gets a control zone on that long goal over there. It's currently 2 control zones for blue. Red trying to get a control zone of their own by aligning that wing. They are having a little issues aligning it though. They just barely get it in. That doesn't look like it's going to be enough though. That's a negated control zone on either side, it looks like. They're both going for top middle, but neither one seems to succeed. Currently it looks like blue is the only one with a control zone in the bottom middle. Everything else is negated. Blue's trying to go for top middle there, but some heavy defense from Red is keeping them away from it. Last 20 seconds, maybe go to a park. Blue gets a park. Red's trying to go for a park. Might be a few issues here. Last 5 seconds, Blue needs to do something here. Red's trying to go for the top middle, but isn't able to make it in the last 2 seconds. It doesn't look like anything. All right, teams, both skills fields are currently open, so if you haven't done your 3 driver and your 3 autonomous, go ahead and go over there. They're completely open, there's no line, you get right in. So after this match, if you want to head over to skills, you're welcome to. All right, both alliances ready for qualification match. Number 18.
Red, are you ready?
With a thumbs up, we can begin. Autonomous. In 3, 2, 1. Moving from all bots. Red accidentally outtakes their 1 block and is trying to go for bottom middle, but isn't aligned just right. None of the bots seem to be aligned very well. No blocks will seem to be scored here. Although it does give them a good position for starting a driver here. With an autonomous tie, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Immediate movement from red, trying to go for that bottom middle control zone. But blue is pushing them out of the way, making sure they can't score anything in that bottom middle. Red wants to get that control bonus, but blue does not want them to have it. Blue seems to be stuck in a block, but red takes his time to get the bottom middle control zone. That'll be an extra 6 points for red. Blue seems to be stuck on the block already and isn't able to move. They have to get some assist from their teammate, and they do get free. There's still only 1 block scored with 1 minute left. Anything could change. Blue's trying to go for a block in the bottom middle, but doesn't have the precision to do that. One of the wires seems to have fallen out on the red bot over here. Hopefully that doesn't get unplugged. Only the 1 block has been scored so far. Some defense from both sides is keeping either side from advancing. If it stays like this, red might have the opportunity to win here. Or if blue can get off a park, that might change things. In the last 25 seconds, we'll see what happens. Either team can go for a park to turn the tides.
Park zones are protected.
Red tries to go for a park. And they do make it. They make it on the park. Last 10 seconds, blue's trying to go for a park. It doesn't look like blue's going to be able to get a park, but red does. On to qualification match number 19. Both bots are ready, so we can begin. In 3, 2, 1. Red immediately going for their corner blocks. Blue doing the same. Red goes for top middle, it looks like. They shoot it off, but it doesn't make it. They needed to move just a little bit more forward. Doesn't look like any blocks will be scored here. It's going to be an autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1. Red immediately pushing across the field to go for some defense, moving blocks out of the way, keeping blue from scoring. Blue does score in the bottom middle, giving them control bonus. Red is pushing that claw bot out of the way, pushing them across the field. Blue can't do anything with the red going back and forth. Blue's trying to score in the long goal, but some defense from red is keeping them from doing that. Their partner is going on the loader, trying to get some blocks out of there, potentially going for a long goal. The claw bot does get a block in, giving them control zone. That's 2 control zones for blue at the moment. Blue's trying to score in the long goal as well, but red's keeping them away. Red is taking their time gathering some blocks, turning now towards the long goal. If they can get a long goal control zone, that might change things. Blue does take this opportunity to score a block in the long goal. It's not enough to get control, but it will help towards the points in the match. 40 seconds left, and the red bot seems to be moving a little bit slower and a little bit less accurately. Blue, on the other hand, has coverage of the entire field, 2 control zones in the middle, and 1 block in the loader in the long goal. Red stuck on the claw bot. Left, it may be up to red to park here, but I don't know if that'll be enough. Red needs to do something about those control zones. Blue knows this and is blocking their direct line of path. Doesn't look like red's going to be able to do much of anything. Last 5 seconds, it's going to be up to blue's defense here. And it looks like it's going to be it for the match.
Check, check, check. So, yep. So, I haven't had a chance to do this all year. But we're going to do two things with you, because, of course, we got to keep the energy up. You know, I got a background in physics, and, one of the things that we always talk about is electromagnetic radiation, and the way that we have, how we are, how would you say, both a particle and what else? Does anybody know? A particle or a wave? So what we're going to do is do the wave. What's the wave look like? Somebody wave and show me what the wave is. That's the wave? Waving? Okay. So we're going to do a wave starting on this side. Can we start over here? Yeah? No? Now, I will tell you a secret. I'm going to tell you a secret. By a show of hands, who has gone to VEX Worlds? By a show of hands, parents. Okay, cool. Here's the secret, and this is actually proven. I did it last year with my teams. You know who gets the wave started in the dome every year? We do. No lie. Louisiana and wherever we're sitting at, we get the wave started in the dome every single year. And of course, it's kind of cool to see thousands of people, jumping up and going woo and doing the wave. So let's go ahead, and we're going to do that starting over here. Y'all ready to get it started? Now, I want to hear you give me a woo. That's what I'm talking about. He said, yeah, a woo. All right, so let's see if we can get this to work, okay? Just one time. You ready? In 3, 2, 1. Woo. Okay. Okay, we got to do that again. It kind of died down over here. I don't know about that. Hey, y'all got to wake up now. Wake up. Hey, I got you. I'm going to help wake y'all up. All right, will this wake you up? Here's some sugar. Here we go. That'll wake you up. We got some sugar for you. Now, let's try this again. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. That must be FK White. Yeah, it's got to be FK White. Yeah, no. Hey, shout out to FK White, though. How you say world champion for energy in middle school? Shout out FK White. Yes, we do have a world champion in energy coming out of FK White. So let's try this, one more time. He's ready. Now, what we're going to do, though, when it hits the end, we're going to bring it back. We're going to bring it back. Bring it back. All right, let's get it going. Let's get it. 3, 2, 1. Coming back. Yeah. Well, with that, hey, good time. We got some goodies for y'all. If you want some candy, you want some things, go ahead and make some noise. Where my nerds at? If you want some nerds, where my nerds at? Oh, we got a nerd right here. Where my nerds at? We got nerds right here. Hey, you're at a robotic competition. You're all nerds. Hello. Where my nerds at? We got nerds for you. We got some more stuff coming for you, too. Go ahead. Here you go. Get rid of those over here. And yes, we in Louisiana at the Louisiana State Championship. Hey, I got more for you. Get rid of them. Oh, come on. Got B's, heads up, heads up. Heads up. All right, we're going to B's, AC. You got to heads up, we got B's. Are you ready?
Red, safety blast.
All right, both alliances are ready.
All right, Red, you ready?
We can begin our qualification match, number 20. In 3, 2, 1. We have Autonomous from the Red Alliance here, going on, getting those blocks in the corner. They seem to be turning towards that long goal, but it doesn't look like they're just aligned. Unfortunately, they aren't going to make it. Just so close. It's going to be an autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Blue immediately going for the blocks in the corner there, heading towards that long goal, trying to secure some blocks in there, potentially going for a control zone later on. They get 1, 2, 3 in there, and going for a wing now, trying to secure that control zone. They get it in, that's a blue control zone, immediately right off the start. Red going out for blocks, trying to get in that long goal. Blue is trying to push against them to stop it. Red head towards the long goal on the other side now. But they get stuck on a blue block. They're going to need a little bit of assistance from their alliance. Blue's taking this time to secure a bottom middle control zone, getting a block in. Red's trying to push their teammate off the block, and they get it off. Red's back in the game. One of the blue bots, however, seems to have stopped moving. It's out of commission for a little bit. I'm not exactly sure what's wrong, but something may have disconnected. Red now goes to the other side to get some blocks in that long goal. They get 1, 2, 3, 4 in. They don't have control zone just yet, but they're getting a few extra blocks for it. Blue is trying to get their wing to remove some red blocks from that long goal. They're trying to sweep it out, but the other blue bot's in the way, and it's not moving. Almost a tip in the middle there. I'm not sure which control zone's on the other side, and maybe blue, it might be negated. Red's taking this time to get some red blocks into the nearest control zone. They try to get it in there and trying to sweep it in, but blue is keeping them out of the way. There's a little bit of an entanglement with the wing there. It might become a problem later. They got a wire, the bots are pulling at one another. Last few seconds here, they're trying to get out.
Stop.
Both alliances are ready, so we can begin qualification match number 21. In 3, 2, 1. Both the red bots going for their own respective corners. Blue immediately goes for it and gets a block into that long goal. They're going to turn around, go to the other side, try to get some of the three, but they only get one. They're trying to go for that top middle, but they just overshoot it just a little bit. A good attempt. It looks like it's going to be enough to give them bonus, though. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Blue immediately going to the other side to get to their loader. Red's trying to push them against the wall so that they can't do anything. Those match loads are very important, and if Blue gets access to them, they're going to fill up those long goals quick. Red knows this, and they're pushing against them, trying to keep them out of the way. We got two very defensive red bots here, and a very offensive blue bot. Blue's going to the other side of the loader there, scoring 1, 2, 3, almost a fourth in, not enough to get control, but they're trying to use their wing to secure it in. Red's trying to push them out of the way, trying to make sure they can't score it. They get it, but just it's a little too far. They need to push it a little back. Red's trying to keep them away from that, pushing them against the wall. They aren't able to do much with defense, but they get it in. That's a blue control zone on that side. Just barely. Red's trying to pick up blocks now to get some of their own into the long goal. Red gets control of bottom middle. Blue's taking the time to get some into the long goal. They get long goal control zone. That's 2 long goal control zones for Blue and 1 bottom middle for Red.
Blue won.
Blue takes a heavy lead here. Red needs to take some control zones if they want to win here. Red's trying to use their wing here to get the blue blocks out of there. They get all of them out, and that's a red control zone on this side. They're trying to de-score, but they accidentally knock it back in. Negating control zone. In there. Blue sweeps it all the way across, removing control zone from Red and granting it to themselves, but removing some of the blue in the process. Red currently only has 1 control zone in the bottom middle. In the last few seconds, Blue's going to try to attempt to park. They try to get it off. It seems like they got it. Red tries to get towards some in the long goal, but it's not enough to get control.
They said they got that power. Yeah.
Both alliances ready, so we can begin. Match 22 in 3, 2, 1. Red going for their corner blocks. They get 2 of them in, just not the third. They're trying to go for long goal now. They score 3 in, and they're trying to go for the loader, but they just aren't able to make it. They push it in, trying to get control zone, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. They try to wing it in. Red wins autonomous bonus. And with that, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1. Red immediately tries to secure the control zone in that long goal. And they do. Blue is using their match loads, trying to score one in. They just barely miss it. Red scoring some from the loader. Both red teams are making effective uses of their loaders and their match loads. Blue has scored 3 into the long goal, trying to contest Blue's control. Blue's taking bottom middle control zone, and they just barely can't get it out. They get it out though, that's Blue for bottom middle. Currently, Red has 2 control zones in the long goals though. Blue's gonna need to pick it up a little bit if they want to get some controls. Red's D-scoring almost 2 blue blocks on the long goal. They're trying to push it out, but they just can't. It's not enough force. Red takes top middle control zone as well. Blue is scoring into the long goal. They get 1, 2, and 3 into there. They're trying to shove it in. There's currently 3 control zones for Red. Blue does have bottom middle, but that's not going to be enough to negate 3 control zones. Red scoring on the opposite side, unintentionally negating their control zone. Now it's only 2 red control zones instead of 3. They're trying to hook it into the long goal, but they seem to be stuck for a little bit. That might get themselves free, so it's not any problem. That's currently red control zone, just barely though.
Get out, Red.
Red's wing is stuck on the long goal. They're trying to get out, having a little bit of issues. A wheel has fallen off of one of the blue bots as they go for the red. Very close battle of control zones here. Both alliances are ready, so we can begin match qualification. Never mind, we have a not ready from blue. All right, now both alliances are ready, so we can begin autonomous.
Stop.
Oh, what? We do have a blue control zone. Red tries to push it in, but it's not enough to negate it. It doesn't go just far enough, so that's going to be a blue. We do have a little bit of a field mistake. No one interacted with it, so it's fine. All right, there's going to be a blue autonomous bonus, and with that we can begin our driver in 3, 2, 1. beam moving from red negates the control zone in the long goal over here. But blue is using their wing to descore that red block and secure control zone for themselves. Red's scoring some blocks now, trying to get the wing in. They wing out to the blue blocks, securing control zone. It's going to be a back and forth between these two teams. Red is also playing defense, making sure that blue can't get a wing out. But it may not be enough because blue is pushing through, and they do get control zone back. That's control zone on either side for the blue alliance. All red blocks have been descored within this first bit of the match. It's looking like a decisive lead for the blue here. Blue does do a heavy wing, which did descore some of their own blocks. Red is coming on the other side with 4 blocks of their own, going for a wing, and they push out the blue blocks, and they get control zone. Blue is trying to go for bottom middle control zone, and red is going for a descore on the blue blocks over there. They're having a little bit of trouble aligning it, though. They do get it out. That's 2 blue blocks out. It's equal control zone on either side. The match has been turned equal once more, with only 1 block in favor of red. If anyone can take control of the middle, all bots seem to be gathering toward the middle, trying to get that control zone. Blue's going for the long goal, scoring 1, almost 2. They got 1 in now. On either side. Red's going for a park, but it doesn't look like they're able to make it very much. Red does get top middle control zone. That's going to give them the lead here. Blue does have 4 blue blocks on the other side, though. Blue is trying to go for a descore, but it only has 5 seconds left. I don't know if they're going to be able to make it. Blue tries to get bottom middle, but it shoots right out. Very close. With a park right at the end. It is a very close score, so we're going to have a little bit of a debate on the score here. We're going to wait a little bit. Each team is scoring their own blocks, adding them up. We want to make sure that we get this exactly right. That match was incredibly close. So close, in fact, that we actually ended up in a tie between the teams, 41-41. All right. All right, all teams are ready now. Maybe. So we can begin. Autonomous. In 3, 2, 1. From red, going for those corner blocks. They get 1, 2, 3 in. Blue tries to go for top middle, but isn't able to make it. Red does get 1, 2 in. That's going to be enough. That gets them control zone. Blue goes forward and gets very close. They just aren't able to the bottom middle though.
Red.
That's going to be a red autonomous bonus. And with that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Immediate control zone in the top middle for red. Red is going to pick up as many blocks as they can. Blue is coming on the long goal on the other side, trying to score 1 block in, aligning themselves just right. They get 1 in. That's 1 block for blue. Red's going for the long goal. They are getting 1 in. They get 2, 3 in. Red has 3 blocks in that long goal. Blue is trying to go for a push, trying to get their block in. A very interesting mechanism I haven't seen before. It doesn't push far enough, though, as the blue block does not go into that control zone. Red seems to be trying to align their wing here, trying to get a push in, but they just can't align it just right, and it's barely not enough to make it. They're trying very hard to get that control zone. Red is blocking the long goal from blue on the other side. Red's still trying to align their wing there. They almost get it, but it's just barely not right. Blue is taking this time to score a block into their long goal, but it seems to have gone over and doesn't count. Last 40 seconds here. Red does control top middle control zone, but there are no other control zones beside that. Red's trying to go for a wing. They have been for a while. They almost get it, but it's still not enough. They need just a little bit more. Blue is trying to play defense against them, keeping good red control zone in the long goal. They push it just enough. There's 2 control zones for red and a red part. Last 15 seconds. Blue is trying to descore, but accidentally pushed the blocks in further. It's going to be 2 red control zones and none for blue. Last few seconds, it doesn't look like there's much blue. Red does get a control zone in the bottom middle, right at the very end. All right, both alliances are ready. We can begin match 25 in 3, 2, 1. Two red bots moving. Red going for their corner blocks. They get 1, 2 into the top middle control zone. They get some from the loader, 3 from the loader. Going for the long goal, 1, 2, and then they get the third. Not enough for control, but that is there is a disconnect from the robot. That's going to be a red autonomous bonus. All right, we can begin driver in 3, 2, 1.
Okay. Go ahead.
We have a little bit of a disconnect from
Red.
from the red bot over here. We're going to try to restart it, but it did get disconnected at the end of autonomous. So for now, it's going to be non-operational. It did run at the start of autonomous, so it's not going to constitute a rerun. Red does have top middle control zone. Let's see if they can last for the rest of the match with only one bot. Red is trying to get some blocks to go in the long goal. Blue is trying to do the same, trying to sweep in their block. Red does have 3 control zones at the moment. Blue is trying to softly put their block into the control zone, but it's just not going to be enough force. They have a standoff connected to their wing that is a little flimsy and isn't supplying enough force to that block. Red does maintain their 2 control zones on top and bottom middle. Blue gets control zone on their long goal though. That gives them a bunch of extra points, but I don't think it's going to be enough to go against Red's 2 control zones.
Blue, back up. Blue.
To get a control zone over on this long goal. Just need a few more blocks. Last 20 seconds, it can be up to either team to park. It's going to be pretty close. Last 5 seconds, Red's going to try to go for a park. So the rules for a robot DCing are a bit weird. There is a certain amount of actions that you are allowed to take. You are allowed to turn off and to reconnect the bot, but there are certain wires that you can't like touch the wires on a motor or something. So the bot here disconnected and we were only allowed to do a certain amount of things. When those didn't work, we could not save the bot and we just had to play the match without it. Nevertheless though, the Red Alliance does win with a score of 42-21. There is currently only 1 hour left on skills. Skills closes at 6 o'clock. You only have an hour left to get your skills runs in for the day. All alliances are ready. We can begin match 23. In 3, 2, 1. Moving from the red bots going towards the top middle there. Blue tries to go for bottom middle, but ends up running into the other bot. Neither one seems to be crossing the line though. So it may just be completely accidental. It's going to end autonomous. That's going to be an autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Red bot immediately going for the long goal over on the other side. Blue is trying to stop them from going for a sweep, although red is trying to get a sweep on that red block. Red also going for the other long goal, trying to get some in. They get almost one, but blue shoves them out of the way before they can. Blue does have bottom middle control zone though. It's going to give them an edge in the competition. One of the blue bots does seem to have a drivetrain halfway fallen off though. Either that or it's just bending way much. The motor's a little slanted. Red is making use of their loader to get some match loads in. They're trying to get the blocks out of the loader. Having a little bit of trouble doing so. Red is also trying to score a block in the bottom middle, trying to negate that control zone. They almost make it, but they're having a little bit of issues aligning it. They get it in, that's negated control zone in the bottom middle. This match is swung in the favor of red, who has one block more than blue. Red is trying to score some into the long goal over here, but blue is trying to play defense on them. The red alliance bot is trying to keep blue away, but they're not accomplishing. Last 20 seconds and maybe up to a park. If either team can get off a park, that might sway the match in their favor. Blue is trying to get a park off, and so is red. Red does not get a park off. Red takes top middle control zone right at the end, giving the advantage on the match. Looks like that's going to be it for the match here. All right, both alliances are ready. We can start qualification match number 27. In 3, 2, 1. And immediately going for that 3 block in the corner. Doesn't grab anything. Red is also trying to go for that long goal, but it's too far away to make it and doesn't outtake. But it is going to put them in a good position for the start of driver. Looks like it's going to be an autonomous tie. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. But immediately going for that long goal, trying to align themselves to get it on there. They get it. That's a red block into the long goal. Blue is trying to stop them, keeping them away from it. Red is also trying to get some blocks in the middle of the field here. They aren't really able to get much of anything though. Blue is trying to score in the bottom middle. Is having a little bit of an issue trying to align themselves. It's only one red block scored. Blue is chasing the red bot, trying to keep them away, making sure that they can't score anything else. Red is going for a second block though. They're trying to get it on, but the blue is pushing them out of the way, making it a little uneven. Their intake as well seems to misalign just a little bit. no blocks are scored from either side due to some defense from both sides, pushing each other around, making sure that neither one can score. Red is still trying to line up for that long goal. Almost trying to get another one, but blue pushes them out of the way just a bit too soon. Red is trying to go for a park, going into that park zone. Red drops the block, unfortunately. However, they still do have a block to save. That almost looks like barely not a That is one blue box parked, however. If they could get a double park, that would be worth 30 points. Red bots need to make some extra points here. The red bot seems to be trying to go for a park here, but is missing it a little bit. Both alliances ready for match number 28, so we can begin. In 3, 2, 1. From red going for their corner, slowly picking up two of them going now for the long goal. They're just barely not aligned, and they don't make it, which means they're also not aligned for the loader. Blue does get aligned to that long goal. They get one in. That's one for blue, and none for red. Looks like red might take this one. Or sorry, blue takes this one. They get the autonomous bonus. With that, we can begin driver. In 3, 2, 1. Immediate movement from red towards their loader, trying to get those 3 blocks from the bottom. They're just having a little bit of issues propping it up. Not enough force. Red is trying to go for the long goal. They get 2 in, almost a third, but it falls out. One of the blue blocks is currently attempting a park. Or no, they were a little bit stuck. Red does get control zone on the other side, though. They get long goal control zone by pushing a block through the middle. There's currently 1 red control zone and only 1 blue block scored. Blue is going to align for that long goal, though, trying to score some in, but red pushes them out of the way. Blue is unable to score due to defense from red. Red comes to the other long goal and scores a second control zone. That's 2 control zones for red. Blue is trying to score some blocks, and they get 5 blocks in on the other long goal, and are now trying to use their wing to sweep it through. Red is sweeping through on the closer long goal. Blue sweeps it out, descores the few red blocks, and gives them control zone. Blue also gets bottom middle control zone, so it's a pretty even field here. Blue's trying to block red from scoring anymore. Although red does have the advantage on the amount of blocks scored. Red's now going for top middle, but decides to realign. They're now going for the long goal, trying to remove blocks. Trying to get their control zone for themselves, and they get it. It seems like they got control zone. They're trying to descore some of the blue blocks now. Last 10 seconds. A park might determine the winner of this one here. 3 blocks in for the blue. They're going to try to go for a sweep. I don't know if they're going to have enough time. Both alliances are ready, so we can begin match number 29. In 3, 2, 1. Red tries to go to the corner blocks. They get one in. They try to score in the top middle, but they just barely don't make it. Blue tries to score, and they get one in. That's Blue's block scored. It's going to grant Blue the autonomous bonus. With that, we can move on to driver. In 3, 2, 1. Blue is immediately going for the corner blocks and trying to head towards the bottom middle goal there. Or sorry, the top middle goal. Red's trying to go for bottom middle, but they shoot it just a little too far. Blue is focusing also on their long goal on the closer side. They get 1, 2, 3 in. Just barely not enough to get control though. They're going to try to align their wing to sweep through. They're having a little bit of trouble aligning it though. They try to get it in, but they're hitting the long goal. Red's playing some defense against Blue, trying to make sure they can't get the top middle. Blue gets control zone in this long goal here. Red scores a block in the long goal. Blue is playing some heavy offense. They score a block into the further long goal. They do only have one control zone at the moment though. Blue is lining up for a wing, trying to push the block into the control zone. Red does get bottom middle control zone though. That gives them an extra 6 points. Blue does get a control zone for the long goal. That is 2 control zones for Blue and 1 for Red. 35 seconds left here. Control zones couldn't matter here. Blue tries to go for bottom middle but misses. Red accidentally picks up one of the blocks from the bottom middle. Blue picks up a red block and scores in the bottom middle, giving them control zone. That is 2 blocks in the bottom middle. No more red blocks are on the at the moment. Blue tries to go for top middle, and they get it. Red also tries to go for top middle. They get it. It's a negated control zone in the top middle. That is currently 3 control zones for Blue and a park bot. Red's trying to go for a park, and it looks like they make it. That's a park for either team. 3 control zones for Blue and 1 negated. All right, now it's time for the final qualification match of the day. Q30. Let's introduce our teams. We have our Red Alliance, which is Team 70663C Goblin Goonies. Aligned with them is Team 70699A Wolverine Robotics. For our Blue Alliance, we have Team 70634C Techno Vipers. Aligned with them is Team 70699D Wolverine Robotics. Let's make this final match a good one.
Blue, get ready.
Both alliances are ready. Maybe not. Both alliances are ready. So we can begin our final match of the day. In 3, 2, 1. We have a red bot moving and a blue bot moving. Red picks up those 3 blocks in the corner and is going for the long goal. Blue goes for top middle but misses their blocks. Red gets 3 into the long goal, just barely not getting control though. It looks like that's going to be it for Autonomous with 3 red blocks scored.
Red.
It's going to be red for the Autonomous bonus. Now we can start driver. In 3, 2, 1. Red is going to try to score into that long goal, trying to push them in. They use their wing to align and going for that control bonus. They get it in. That's a red control zone in the long goal. We have a little bit of a rubber band issue over here with between the red and blue bots. They were connected for a little bit, but they got free. Blue is trying to pick up some blocks around, but red is playing some defense and pushing them against it. Red does get top middle control zone, netting them an extra 8 points. That is 2 control zones for red at the moment. Blue is trying to pick up some blocks, but red is pushing them around and making sure they can't get anything. Red's now focusing on getting their loader their long goal protected. They're grabbing a few extra blocks, trying to fill up the closer long goal, trying to net themselves another control zone. Blue trying to push them out of the way, but they do get 3 blocks in. That's 3 blocks for red. They push it in, and that's another control zone for red. 3 control zones for red. Currently no blue blocks scored with 50 seconds left in the match. Blue is pushing red around, trying to make sure they can't score anything. But blue does need to do some scoring here if they want to win this match. Blue is now trying to go for top middle, but red is pushing them out of the way. No scoring is being done by blue because of some heavy defense from red. Red does now get all 4 control zones, both long goals and both middles. Blue does score in long goal, but red quickly just scores it. There's only 1 blue block scored. 10 seconds left. There is a park, but I don't know if it's going to matter very much because red has such a significant lead at the moment. 10 seconds left in the match. It's going to be up to red to see how many points they can score. They're now going for a park. Red gets a park off. Blue is trying to get one off, but they don't seem to be able to do it very well. They're getting a little stuck. For our final match of the day, we have a score of 79-3 for your Red Alliance. Also, skills will remain open until 6 o'clock. Even though we have done our final match, you can still run your skills until 6 o'clock.